Let's talk about the first night of the DNC. Monday, it was supposed to be all about Joe Biden. It was a late night, it was running overtime. Biden finished his speech past midnight on the East Coast. What did you think of the night? What are some of your takeaways?
Uh, I would call it the night of the living dead. That is, Biden and Hillary are the living dead of the Democratic Party. And but I thought they did a pretty good job of passing the baton to the new generation, which is AOC, and then there was a surprise visit by Kamala Harris. So there was a lot of enthusiasm. It wasn't just a memorial service for Biden, who was like those typewriters thrown out the window of the Democratic nominating convention. He concentrated his ammunition on Trump. Obviously, he's going to say, we did a good job in our administration. Kamala Harris will be great. There's a problem there, and focusing on Trump gives is a partial solution. And the problem, which will recur throughout the campaign, is that she wants to run on the future, but she's closely associated with the past, which people, according to polls, don't like. So she has to make the future vague. And every time she specifies something about that future, it's very far on the left. It takes real incompetence to fail to exploit that. But so far, the Trump administration has shown that incompetence.
I want to talk about that a little bit because in that speech where he was expected to pass the baton, it was largely about his legacy. And he said, we, and by we, he meant Kamala and I passed this. We accomplished this. We did this for you. Then at the end of the speech, the second half, he said, and Harris and Walz will continue doing X, Y, and Z, basically continuing the Biden administration. The Biden legacy is what that seemed. So how in the next 3 days or the next days leading up to the election, do you think Harris will attach herself like Biden did as a continuation? Will she separate herself? And how does she do that after that speech?
She won't mention it very much, except for the triumphs. She's closely associated not only because she was vice president, because some of the biggest expenditure programs were a tie vote, and she broke the tie as the vice president. Well, every vice president's going to vote for what the president says, but she has her fingerprints all over these inflationary spending bills. Uh, and So her goal will be to say, we're moving forward. Everything is about the future. Donald Trump is about the past. And so the more she looks back at the Biden administration, the more she's about the past. And it's not a very popular past. It is with the Democrats who are in the hall in at the United Center, where the Bulls play basketball and the Blackhawks play hockey. It's a beautiful center, and they do, I should say, since I mentioned earlier the Conrad Hilton Hotel, the hotels for the convention delegates are at the convention center, not the United Center, but near the lakefront, and they're pretty isolated. You can really block them off, so it's not possible for the demonstrators to really attack the hotels very easily.